The first time I went to take my driving test, everything was fine and dandy. I brought everything necessary to take the test. I waited till the DMV called my name, then I got in my car to start the test. As we were driving around, I was doing everything right. I was checking my mirrors, had a safe 3 to 5 second following distance, and was constantly scanning and focusing on the road. At the end of the test, however, the driving test person told me to turn into a neighborhood and do a reverse turn around the corner. The first time I did it, I ended up in the middle of the street. So she let me do it again, telling me to stay in my lane. The second time I did it, I ended up in the middle of the street again. She took some notes, and as I was driving back to the DMV, she told me I did everything well except reverse turn around a corner, so I didn't pass. But I should practice that turn and come back in a week. Even though I was slightly disappointed, I understood my mistake and practiced reverse turning around a corner every day the next week. After a week, I finally went back to take the test, except I had a different lady testing me. I was a little nervous from failing the first time, but I tried to push that nervousness out of my head. Right when I turned out of the DMV to start my second test, the driving tester yelled, "This is your second test and you make that mistake? You just turned with another car coming full speed into this lane." I was so shaken up, I didn't even completely realize what I was doing wrong. Next, she told me to switch lanes, and I did as quickly as possible because I was so scared that she would yell at me again. But then she did and said I cut off the person driving behind me. She was so angry that she literally said, "I can't even finish your test. You need so much more practice. We are going back right now." When we pulled into the DMV, I saw my dad's smiling face, hoping I had passed, but I just started crying. The driving tester got out of my car and slammed the door, and I shook my head no as my dad came to the car asking if I had passed. I was so embarrassed. I failed yet again. The next month, I drove a lot more and practiced as much as I could to get comfortable again. When I decided to take the test again, we went to a different DMV because I was too afraid that I would get one of the driving testers I had before. This time, I had a very nice man who made me feel comfortable by asking about my summer and speaking a little about his. When we pulled into the parking lot after he had me do all the parts of the test, he said, "Wow, you did so well. What made you fail the first 2 times?" Finally passing with such a response made the 2 driving test failures worth it.
Oh my god, and we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way to shore because the dog chased us all the way to the end. Oh.